the new maps from Lincolnville District. We ordered 35 new road maps, and they're like 3 foot by 2 foot big maps. And the 35 maps, Sharon Browning is now tagging them for distribution. The fire departments will get one, and the EMS people will get one that will have the ESN numbers and on them. The road department, the transfer station, PD, everybody needs maps.
Sheriff's office.
Pardon?
Sheriff's office, yeah.
Sheriff's office. They're on the list. Everybody at road department will get one. We've got a few extras. But there's only one road that we think that is not on the list. Magistrate Wicker and I talked about it a few minutes ago. We looked in the minutes to see that the road out of Riley that goes up to the water tower in Riley, that we formally had kind of agreed that it was going to be Orbison Road. We didn't have minutes on that. And that was not put on this map. That's the only road, the only brown line road on this map. It's not on there. So in order to get that added, on the next printing, we probably need the fiscal court to approve that because it wasn't in the minutes. We looked at it.
Orbison Road or Lane? Which one?
It'd be Lane.
Orbison Lane. I make a motion to approve that for Orbison Lane.
Are there any homes on that?
I remember when we talked about it.
We thought we approved it, but it wasn't in the minutes.
Well, are there any homes or houses on that?
Yes, 2 or 3.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 homes. We actually have already arranged it.
Yeah.
Signed the new numbers to the existing structures.
Also goes to the water tower.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Second. Thank you.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Williams? Yes. Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes. Does the water tower have address associated with it?
Yeah.
We'll probably have an address off of Riley Gravelfoods Road currently, but it'll now be Orbison.
Yeah, but I didn't know because if they're working, if something happens.
Yeah, we can get them there now, but they'll change the address. Another issue that we've had is one of the 2 AMA trunks have been installed over at Lebanon PD.
Good.
We got an email as we were coming back from Lexington a few minutes ago that AT&T has not installed the other trunk because they're waiting for Windstream to come up with a line. There's a 4-wire, Windstream provided a 4-wire connection to it, and AT&T requires only a 2-wire connection. So now they're working out the engineering logistics with Windstream in order to get that trunk installed. Now what that trunk will do, we are enhanced countywide, except for approximately 200 phone service residents over in the Holy Cross area. We're trying to get those in. These new trunks will take care of that problem. I don't have a timeline when they're going to work this problem out in Windstream, but that's been a kind of an ongoing issue. So,
I got one more item for Keith. We run into a situation yesterday it's on my old business, new business, but Jimmy's got to go to some training tonight. But we got an issue with the brush debris we have at the landfill. Yesterday, we were informed that Cox's Interior will no longer do it for free. They usually take about 26 loads out of there, and it's usually 1 year. They come every February. And we had a written agreement with them, but in the written agreement, they've got 30 days to get out of it. So they notified us verbally yesterday, and I look forward to get that the next few days, a written notice that they're no longer going to do that. So we're left with the situation where it's going to cost us, if we continue to have debris at the amount that we've accumulated the last couple of years, about $6,500. So we're left, do we start charging people to dump brush, or do we just provide the service?
Well, first I'd say that I figured that day would come, but the first thing we might do is actually put out a bid, okay, RFP for haulers or for whomever to provide that service and see what I mean, you never know, it might actually come in better, it might, but
in my opinion, this is cheap.
Oh, it is. Well,
$500 a year, Pete.
If
you talk to anybody with these grinders cost $1 million.
Yeah, they cost $1 million, and damn, Boyle County's paying what, $300 a load for theirs to get rid of it. So I mean,
And if we charge, you know where it's gonna be at. It's gonna be on the side of the road.
Well, I'm totally-
Yeah.
I'm totally against the charging. I mean, it's always been a free service, and it's a tremendous service that a lot, as you know, a lot of people across the county and maybe some other counties take
I
take
thought it
advantage
was
of.
gonna be ground up where you could give it to the people for mulch.
That's another permit, and you gotta turn it with backhoe, and you've gotta create compost and mulch out of it, and you've gotta have some space to do that. We don't have space to run a composting facility at the transfer station.
We don't have technically, we don't have the space, manpower, or
Yeah,
anything,
it'd
so.
be a big deal.
The other side
I
of-
looked into that.
And unfortunately, correct if I'm wrong, Mr. Bach, but you would think that, you know, we could have controlled burns, but I don't think the EPA will allow us to do that.
We will
But
not do that.
yeah.
In fact, I had to almost sell my soul to get the bridge waste burnt and out of the transfer station. The last time we let the state clean out underneath the bridges down at Raywick and other areas, stated out there.
Well, it's not
Like
worth your
burning
soul.
that mule.
I thought your attitude had changed a
It's
little
not worth your soul, Mr.
I want to contact two mulch
I had
companies
to
that I
call
deal
in
with.
markers. Let me qualify.
Yeah, it's better. I had to call
They
him a few
would be
markers. I like
interested.
that.
Let me preface what the judge.
I didn't think about that,
Jimmy talked
so-
about. I've done a little research on this, on what other counties do as far as this question.
well, we've got a year to, well, we don't really have a year. We're not charging there.
Yeah, we got time.
Because they're not gonna charge us now. But I immediately called Boyle County because Cox also services Boyle County.
There's,
The coordinator over there said that they have been charging Boyle County for 2 years, $300 a load.
do you have anything out there to load with?
It's got nothing that's got a big painter on, you know, something like that brush, you're gonna have to have something, you know.
Well, I deal with two different mulch companies. I can contact them. They're hauling back empty when they leave my facility. I can check with them and see if it's something they would be interested in or not, but I'll make a few phone calls on it as well. But I know they would want to be able to be loaded on a backhaul.
So how many, let me ask this, how many loads a year do you say that they take out of there?
26 tractor trailer loads.
Okay.
We did 621 tons of ground material out of that landfill last year. on
Yeah, so
26 tractor trailers.
technically, they're charging us, when you look at it, they're charging, even though we're getting it for 6,500, I mean,
250 loads.
they're basically charged the same they are, go from Campbellsville to here, from Campbellsville to Danville.
That's it.
True.
That's why it's 300 in Danville.
Yeah,
Now, the reason they're charging,
thought they might charge less, more or less.
the reason they're charging now, and it's really not Cox's fault. The EPA, the federal EPA air quality people, changed the formula of brush, of water content and stuff of this ground.
That's all gonna be changed, ain't it?
And they can't use it fast enough, and they have to add additives to it in order for them to burn it and create electricity to sell back to the plants and back to the grid.
Rumor has it America's gonna be great again, there won't be
They
any
have
type
somebody
of.
loaded into their trucks and they'll
Yeah,
send it.
exactly.
I mean, Jimmy
So,
got,
yeah.
would you have to have
They're
a
not
finger
making
on
money
the
on
bucket
it.
for it?
They're just recouping their cost
Yeah.
of grinding.
Gotcha.
Brad, I got out there today,
Yeah, it'll be there till,
Still, that cleans up, and I mean, use the wind to help you out.
it's $1 million, they just purchased $1 million for that grinder. And
So,
you'll never get a bucket grinder in here on a request for quote.
so what does it cost for one of them things to go in your bucket?
No, you're right.
I mean.
You
if
can't,
if-
yeah, you can't dispose of for that. No.
If it costs for a year, it'd be more than that.
Is your outfit gonna bring a grinder in here, you know, the grinder?
No, he's
I don't
gonna,
know. I don't know how they would do that. That's what I'm gonna have to do a little research and
he
check.
said they might haul
They
it.
might want to haul just the bulk material out to their grinder.
Yeah.
But if it's enough material in a year's time, they may be willing to bring a grinder in. But when they leave my business, they're running back empty.
It won't hurt to ask. is it?
No, it doesn't hurt to ask. One's in Stanton and one's
Well,
in
Now, if we
Tompkinsville.
charge,
Whatever they took would
We're
be
not-
coming
I
off
asked
as a,
other counties about charging, maybe $5 for a pickup truckload and the big tree trimmers more. But they said, we've tried that in Danville and said it wound up the road because people wouldn't pay $5 or $10 on those pickup.
Yeah, bottom line is, I
you don't
think,
have no tree trimmers come in there and dump, do you?
yeah,
Do you?
Contract.
3 or 4.
yeah.
That's one reason we established it, because when I was with the health department and early in this job, I was citing the local tree trimmers for dumping on the side of the road and on their private property and then burning. And I get complaints.
So
Well,
don't they have it chipped up when they come in there?
No,
No, they
We don't
cut,
take chip
they
material.
don't take
Oh,
chip,
okay.
no.
That's what I thought you was talking
No,
about.
we don't take that.
What's the largest you allowed to be dumped in there? I remember at one time, 20 inch.
20 inch. We'll take anything 20 inches down. And that thing they've got will eat it.
well, we'll talk about it. We got a little time. Thank you, Judge.
But, you know, if we are gonna charge, we have to start charging immediately to be able to
Let's just go ahead and
recoup.
get this notion out. I don't think we're charging, are we, guys? So let's stop talking about that word right
That's fine.
there, all right?
That was,
We've got a clean county, we want to keep it that way.
Well, let's make sure the press understood that. This court will not be charging for that service, okay? Thank you.
Keith, thank you.
Thank you.
Jimmy, thank you. Jason.
Oh.
Oh, gosh.
I got one more side note. I called Division of Waste Management, the department head who heads the recycling branch. We get a $4,000 a year waste tire grant that they give us. We stage tires out to the county barn, and I get a recycler to come in and we turn in the receipts. I've got them thinking, the heads of waste management, thinking about giving us a compost waste grant every year for the counties. In other words, they'll front us maybe $5,000 a year, and if we turn in how many tons that we've ground and used for waste to energy, and they're really serious to think about. So we might be able to get a free grant to help them break the cost. They're thinking about it.
You are the king of free
Yeah,
grants.
you're the man.
Could you work with Jailer Brady, who's coming up next here, you know?
You got any grudge? You get grudge?
Thank you, Mr. Brock.
Barry?
Well, one thing, I got our food service company give us $11,000 vocational class for our jail for running the next 9 weeks. So
This sounding good.
They're gonna take the rap for the thing, and it's part of, again, what the initiatives are in the state with the reentry centers and stuff about doing vocational as well as treatment. So Marion County Detention Center is probably the first jail in the state to have a vocational running. We started that this week, and it was at Kelwell's expense to put in place. So that's up and running. We did get a notice today from the DOC about our good faith effort was accepted on our non-compliance with overcrowding. But that seems to be a routine. What we get written up on is overcrowding. And then when I give you all the report, it was at 294. That was on the 13th, and when I left the jail just then, it was at 303. 69 of them being Marion County. Our percentage rates are 140% ISO, 118% general population. So it's just one of those numbers that keeps going up and down, but you just do the best you can trying to keep it together. We did put a training schedule on there for the mattership that want to attend training locally at the jail. The hours that will be approved by Scott Sharp. Scott Sharp did tell us that we kind of got after April for submitting multiple elected official trainings and total at one time. So we have picked that we will submit our elected official training in by June the 15th, but we'll have most of all of our training done by the end of May, 1st of June. Also, with that, all of my departments, the security division, the program division, as well as the support division, is putting together a specific training for the physical court on jail operations. And we're not sure how many hours that'll obtain to, but it'll give us some hours this spring. And we'll probably, if we don't look at a half a day, we'll probably look at segments. If it's not a full day or a half a day training, we'll look at segments doing that. So we also had another one of our repeater went down. Of course, they got it listed on here as 4924, but that actual number is 4400. Talked with the company, they dropped $500 off that. But again, it's a piece of equipment that we got to have, and it's been there since before 2000. So it's done its time in service. Also, before you get into the actual stats on the jail, what's happened in the jail last month, I do want to bring it in. We've already had our third medical drug issue at the jail in 2017. We just had it this past weekend, and it was doing, and twice this year it's been with what they call the synthetic marijuana spice, and it has been smuggled in what we assume all the cases have been inmates that went through strip searches and stuff, so it's been brought through in body cavities and stuff. But it's it inquires. We had 4 inmates completely unconscious on February the 12th, down with effects of spice. Ended up with all of being able to get most of them around before we could work with them. Other than one, we had to send to ER. So, I mean, that's the stuff that you're seeing on the 6 o'clock news, on the world news, and most recently you're going to see even our local media doing segments of stories about the drug use and addiction and the cost and the problem and the issue with it. It's there, it's real, and it's not just in Louisville, and it's not just in Cleveland, Ohio and stuff. It's around us, and it's affecting our locals. So anyway, we're also working on our budget. We'll be ready by mid-March with it. So hopefully we'll have a full layout.
Is there any certain bunch going out that it happens to more often?
Brand new arrest.
Oh, brand new, not the guys working.
No.
There's the problem with people. I mean, the understanding of drug addiction is they're packing. Most of them, we had 10 come in from the court today, and everyone that was supposed for strip search, we processed and strip searched, but we don't have an assessment unit to process male, female, 10 offenders, so we have to process them and process them straight into general population. So by tonight, I mean, I couldn't guarantee that we wouldn't have some type of effect with ER runs tonight, because they're going to court. They know they're either that or they know they got a warrant on them, and they're packing. They're coming loaded. So I mean, you can't automatically identify it through a strip search. I mean, we've got cases, and even one case come out of Springfield. It's a Springfield arrest. We ended up on a promotion charge in Marion County because the drugs were identified. We actually identified them during a strip search. And so we ended up with, we got a Marion County case. It started out with a Washington County case. By the time it got here, it turns out to be a felony, introduction of contraband. And that was like 52 volumes.
Mm-hmm. So would that X-ray machine you talking about, would it pick that up?
Most definitely. I mean, it deters it a lot. Yes. I mean, that's your only hope is to try to offset that with technology. I mean, the reality of it is corrections today is a lot different than it was in 1997 when the court built the state-of-the-art, and it was the state-of-the-art facility in 1997, and what the finest of what you could build to answer your need then. It's times change things.
So does Jefferson County have one of those?
Yeah,
I know they're having a big problem too.
Jefferson County, I mean, they still have the problem. Their cost, they issued their cost this week for housing prisoners at the lowest end 63 up to 208. I mean, just because of the detox, mental health, and issues. If you look at ours, I mean, we're 63 chronic care inmates this month.
So the X-ray's not catching, they're not catching it down there.
I mean, oh yeah, they're catching it. I mean, it is catching it, and it is a deterrent. But
it's still getting in though.
It's not. You can't bank it to be a fail-safe.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're still utilizing. I mean, you're training your staff. Yeah. I mean, at the best medical technology, people miss stuff in medical exams. So you can only say, it's a prevention tool that you just try to do the best you can with it. I mean, if you even look at what they do, and again, what they do with medical don't catch everything that they need to catch when they catch it.
TSA doesn't have couple of units that,
I mean,
you know, I just wondered, I thought maybe they might have some surplus or something, you know.
I mean, and it's one of those markets, John, that, you know.
They don't update.
Technology changing. And sometimes that runs the cost down, but right now it's not budgeting. I mean, it's definitely gonna be one of those, investments that we've gotta build, take part of our sally port and, build a new room, for our intake to even put the machine in. That's gonna be, you know, close to $180,000, $200,000 for the machine. That has to be self-contained. But then again, if you know you got the issue, I mean, it does make a panic attack. I mean, it makes a panic on a shift commander when you're sitting there, you're running video, you got 4 down at one time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you got no way to combat it other than just do the best you can. And these are cases of, I mean, and my staff, I mean, tremendous. I applaud them so definitely because they're in the midst working with them, and they're individuals fighting them, vomiting right in the middle of the hole. I mean, but you got to be there to provide the care and get them out and to try to save their life. So, but anyway, nonetheless, all of that will be forthcoming in March.
Did you guys have Narcan?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Narcan? No, we call for EMS.
Oh, okay, so you don't do it yourself?
We do have it in the medical station, but we never administered it. Always been with Robbie's.
And you guys carry it on your,
We've had that drug, I've been doing this 20
Yeah.
plus years. We've always had it. The media's made it like it's some kind of miracle drug. It's been out since the beginning of time. It's not nothing.
Do y'all use much of it, Robbie?
We'll do 3 to 5 cases a week. So everybody around us is doing that much a day. Why Marion County hadn't got it yet, I have no work that I did. But it's coming. You make it complete. Every county runs, you pay harder than y'all. I don't know why.
If it kills one of them, the rest of them run to it because they know it's really good, is that right?
I don't understand, you know.
Barry, you do
True.
need to, there is a,
that is crazy.
you did hire a Brandon Spires, is that what you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
our treatment counselor.
Yeah, so we need to make a
Motion.
motion to hire him.
Second.
Well, Mr. Elder,
Yes.
Mr. Wicker. Yes. Mr. Bishop. Yes. Unanimous.
Training calendar.
Barry, thanks for the
We
report.
got the other training we put out. We'll give notice on it.
Thanks for the report. Robbie?
What you all have running is a report for January. So we've done 255 runs for January. As of 8 o'clock this morning, we were at 378 calls for the year. That's about all I have. We're steady. That's all I'll say.
Busy.
It stays that way.
You know, also, I know we had discussed this earlier, but as we move forward toward our budget, have you been looking at,
Numbers together.
yeah, as far as a new EMS unit and work some type of rotation? Okay.
And, I'm going to give you probably a couple options. Everything brand new and then a remount unit. And I'll explain the difference between the two. So, our remount unit is a new chassis and complete refurbished the boxes we have. Which will be cheaper and in my opinion, I do the same job as mine brand new.
That's what we want.
Well, I just want to make sure the budget's come out, so.
Already, you're not gonna like the numbers.
Well, you know, yeah, that's true. You're probably right there.
Gary, Gary, you got anything from emergency management?
Last week, Doug Dale and myself went to the quarterly meeting for the EMAs. A couple things come up, especially for the people in the industries. Series Title 2 compliance is March 1st, along with the EHS compliance, which is extremely hazardous substance, which must be filed to the state on March 1st. So I've only gotten 2 reports so far, and I'm not saying who or not, but I gotta make out 2 reports so far of all the community industries that comply with SEER Title II. And we got a lot of them that only got a few more days, well, it's today, about a week and a half, and then it's March 1st. So we gotta get them, get this. Also, I passed some information on to Marion with some training for DOJ and DOC. I passed information out to him, and he's waiting for a call from, what's that place in Gainesville? North Point. So all their personnel can be up to status for the NIDS, National Incident Management System. And that was one thing that was really criticized this year at the state meeting is a lot of counties have gotten slacked. We did a big push about 8-10 years ago, got everybody up to speed, but after that, no one's done nothing in a few years. And guess what? That affects all of your federal money. Because the county is supposed to be 75 to 80% compliance, all county personnel. And right now there's 7 levels, and all your basics. Anyone who's working for your county's got to have the firstborn. Your supervisors and shift leaders got to have the 5th. Yes, 5. And then your head department heads got to go through another one. Course 400. And then I start breaking down the specialties. But anyways, I'm trying to start working with some of the state. And if we can get a few, if I know we can get enough people interested, at least 20 to a class, and some of the other outlying departments is also affects fire. Then the state will pay for a class here in Marion County and probably get the whole thing bagged out in one weekend.
That sounds good.
Because those, each of those classes are 32-hour classes, and I'm seeing if we can close it down to 16. Yes.
You know, to put that, also, that would be something in, for our, you know, our annual fire training we have?
Correct.
That, and Craig, if you can remember this and remind me, but that would be something that, you know, we're always adding classes. That would always be a good class to have on an annual basis. So, if you guys, Greg, if you guys can remember that, I appreciate it. Remind me.
Looking to Ricky thrown by him, so he can run through area 5.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Does anybody else have anything?
I talked to Kay, of course, her father-in-law passed, so she said everything's going well out there, and we got the new vehicle, and it's going good. They're getting the finishing up on the decals and stuff, but everything's going well out there.
Good. Anybody got anything? Old business, new business? Anybody got anything?
Motion to pay the bills and any additions?
Tucker.
Mr. Heather?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
anything else?
Guys,
That's it.
motion to adjourn?
Second.